everybody, welcome. Happy Thursday to all of July 4th of 2024. This is a reading that I'm going to provide, and basically it's going to be very interesting of how it goes. This is just how it seems to be. This is just the way of how it goes in one way or another, and this is just, go for show and how it seems to be, So whenever things are in one way or another, you have to put that into perspective of how it is, right? So the reading that I'm going to do for you all is that this is just how it seems to be, knowing that this is just how it kind of provides and how it is. It's one way or another to do that, right? Because you have to have divine timing of how it is, right? So, this is the way of seem to be, knowing that this is just how encourageable it is, and it's the way of how it seems to be. So, I know that this reading helps you, and I know that this is just how it is. Give it a like, give it a comment, and this is how it seems to be. So, I'm just going to do a Celtic reading cross, and I hope that you will all enjoy this wonderful reading, because in one way or another, this is just how it seems to be, right? So I don't know who it is, but it's the way of how it's one way or another, right? Because this is just the way it goes, right? So this is just how it is in one way or another, and this is just how one way or another leads to that, right? So this is how it's going to remain, of how it is. You will see this wonderful, way of how it goes, but this is just how the reading is, because this is just how related it is, and whether it seems to be good or bad, this is how it remains. So this is just how I'm going to clarify. This is how it is. So if you're a cross watcher, if you're not, if you're doing whatever, you can do whatever you decide to do. But this is how it seems to be. So let's go. So the reading that this is basically because you have the Six of Pentacles reversed, you have the Tower that's reversed, you have the Nine of Swords is between upright. So basically there was something that was happening. The Four of Pentacles means that you could be into control. Maybe you could be that. And the Two of Swords reversed means that you already know exactly which direction you're going to take. And these are things that you're trying to remember and trying to discover. And it's the way of knowing what to do. So this is just how it remains about this whole entire reading, because in this reading, this is just how it is. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the Six of Pentacles. So you have the King of Swords reversed. You have the String card that's reversed. Wow. And you have the Emperor that's reversed. Interesting. I'm going to clarify that Tower card. Ace of Cups reversed, followed by the Moon that's reversed. Interesting. What's in the middle? The Five of Swords reversed, because you're not having conflict with anybody. Alright? That's that's how it kind of concludes. It's the way of how you can do it, right? Because you're trying to put things in perspective. There's no way, Jose, to do your own thing about having no bravery and having no beginnings and whatnot. And these things happen, You have to put things into perspective in a different way, a different setup, a different, how it is, right? And you do that to remain. Because, in other words, this is just the way it goes. This is just how it kind of remains. These things happen as they go along. What I'm saying about these things happen, negativity, not getting along. And, this is the way of processing. You can do whatever you decide to do, but you have to feel it as a wonderful feeling. This is just how bad track it feels. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify because I need to. And I want to know what's happening. So this is what's going on. Is I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the King of Cups reversed, the Strength card reversed, and the Emperor. So the Knight of Cups is upright because there's romance. Okay, so you have the Five of Wands reversed because there's no chaos. You have the Queen of Cups reversed because there's no empathy. Yeah, interesting about that, eh? Interesting. What's else about the Five of Wands? Page of Pentacles reversed because there's no prospects. Interesting. What's else about the Queen of Cups? Ace of Pentacles upright because there's growth. Yeah, okay. So you're growing because you have romance. That's interesting for that. You know, it's the way of how it goes. But what's the Page of Pentacles? The Ten of Pentacles reversed because there's no vision. Interesting. That's kind of odd. Okay. What's the opposite between the Ace of Cups, the Moon, and the Five of Swords? The King of Wands is upright because there's passion. Okay. Two of Swords is upright because you don't know which direction you're gonna go, left or right. You know? So this is how it is. You already know your direction, but you don't see that. Interesting. What's the Five of Swords? Is the Moon that's reversed because there's no misinterpretation. Okay. Alright, so I'm kind of getting somewhere in this reading. What's opposite about this Vision card here? The Eight of Wands reversed because there's no speed. Okay. The Knight of Swords is upright because there's trauma. Wow, interesting. Okay. Four of Swords is upright because there's recuperation because you're resting. Interesting. So what about this Nine of Swords? Ace of Wands is upright because there's new beginnings. Wow. So you're at the crossroads because you know exactly which direction you're going to take. Left or right. You have trauma, growth, recuperation, romance, passion. What's opposite with the Moon card? The Fool reversed means there's no change. What's opposite about that card, please? Nine of Cups reversed because there's no fulfillment. Opposite. The Empress reverse card is there's no nourishment. Interesting. Opposite that card. The Tower reversed because there's no transformation. You know, it seems to be odd in this reading because, you know, when it's very oddly, it's the very, persuasion. You know, and you look at this and you think, okay, everything seems to be fine, everything will be, good. But it's the way of knowing what to do. It's the way of trying to believe about how it is, right? Because you know exactly what it's going to take, but then you decide about having no direction left or right, right? And you have to put things into that right moment. It's the way of feeling what to do, right? Because you have recuperation, you have trauma, growth, romance, new beginnings, right? Passion. But you don't have no transformation, nothing, right? Because everything seems to be very, not so good, It's the way of trying to process. Because the universe is saying something, and is the way of how it goes, because this is just how it remains, and I want to know how it is. So I'm going to clarify the romance card and the growth card. I'm going to clarify the recuperation card and the trauma. I'm going to clarify the transformation card. So I'm going to clarify that. Let's see. So you have the Four of Swords that's reversed because you're already not having recuperation, but then you have recuperation, right? So this is just how it is. You have the Six of Swords is upright, so you could be dealing with another Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And you have the Seven of Pentacles is upright because you're thinking about your career, right? Because that's just how it goes. So, this is how it seems to be in one way or another, because this is just the way it is. But I'm going to clarify that Four of Swords reversed because I want to understand what this reading is, right? Because in one way or another, this is just how it is. I'm going to clarify this Four of Swords. So yeah, the Four of Cups is upright because there's distraction. Interesting. Okay. So you could be having distraction because about the romance and growth. So the Four of Swords is upright because you're going to be having recuperation, and there's drama here. Trauma. Eight of Swords is upright because there's anxiety. Okay, I can tell that. I can really tell. So what's up about the Seven of Pentacles? The Knight of Swords is upright because there's drama. Yeah, see, this is just the way it is. This is just a wonderful act because every single sign out here, you could be dealing with another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with another Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. So there's lots of elements here because this is the way it goes. Because one way or another you have that reflection. Okay, so I understand this very well, but it's the way of knowing about this. It's the way of how it looks. But there's always something to do, rather than having nothing to do, right? And you have to remember to believe on what's going on. Yes, this is just how distinguished this is and very strange, but the reading does make sense, and you have to have your own point of view. Look at that way, look at the other way, look how, things must be all good. But in order to do it, you have to remember that this is just a wonderful, wonderful reading. It's the way of knowing what to do, but you have to remember that this is how it seems to be. I'm not telling you what to do, no. I'm just telling you what the cards are saying. It's the way of, perplexed, and, you have your own way of knowing what to do. You have to remember, you have to remain, you have to put yourself into that perspective, right? Because there's one way or another to reflect on that. You have your own reflection, right? When you go towards the mirror, you're going to reflect on that. Reflect about you're going to have a good day, or rather than having a bad day, You have to remember that. Believe on how things are. Believe about how it is, because the reading does make sense. So I'm going to read you all the oracle cards, see what's going to happen, and this is how it seems to be. So the first one, it is self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So you could have some self-esteem, It's the way of how it goes, but this is how it seems to be. Next one, you have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. That's how it seems to be, because this is how it is. It's the way of put that into that perspective in one way or another, So everything is a challenge, but you have to believe that you can do it, passing without fail. Next one. Courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Pretty good, isn't it? Yes, it is. But it's the way of how it is. It's one way or another to understand that, right? Because that's how it seems to be. And last but not least is growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Yeah, because everything keeps growing, right? And you have to put yourself into perspective in one way or another. So, this is what the reading is, and I hope that you guys enjoy this, because in this reading, that while you're looking at this reading, you have to look at it, right? Because it's a big reading, right? And there is ways that you can do it, because you have self-esteem, adversity, courage, growth, right? You have that. You have that determination to know exactly what's happening. So I'm going to see what the universe is saying, and this is how it's going to go. So let's see. Whoops. So I'm going to look at how it is, because I'm going to clarify these oracle cards. So let's see. So this one is the King of Pentacles upright, because there's security, right? So security, self-esteem, that's how it is. This one is the Page of Wands reversed, because there's no invention. You have the Two of Cups reversed, because there's no relationships. Because you could be in a relationship, you could not be in a relationship. The Emperor reversed, because there's no structure, right? So I'm going to see what's happening through this whole entire reading. So let's see. The Six of Wands is upright, because there's achievement. Yeah, see? It could be that. Other one, you have the Two of Wands reversed, because there's no planning. Because you already planned something. And next one over here, you have the Justice reversed, because you're not telling the truth. Interesting. Alright. So what's up about this card and this card here? Ten of Swords is up, I guess there's conclusions. Interesting. And the High Priestess is upright, because there's inner voice. Yeah, see? Because you're not telling the truth. Because I just clarified that card. Because you're not telling the truth, because you need to use your inner voice. Right? You have to have that base. Because, you have the ability to know from right and wrong. And you have that way of telling the truth rather than not telling the truth, because you have to look at it and say, well, I need to understand that, I need to believe in that, because this whole entire reading does make sense. And whether it does make sense is the way of how it is. It's the way of how your persuasion of how this is. It's the way of looking at it, because in one way or another, this is just how it is. But this is how it seems to be. So before I let you all go, pay attention about, learning about telling the truth, learning about how things are, because, it's the way of knowing what to do, but you have to put yourself into that remaining society, right? You have the abilities to learn that. And when you tell the truth, you know how it is, right? You have to believe about that, right? You have to put into that perspective way, because this is how it is. This is just the way it goes, And as a matter of fact, you have to pay attention, because in one way or another, this is just an opportunity. This is the way it goes. This is the way of perfection. Because this is the way it seems to be. Knowing that this is just how the reading goes, but you need to know how it is. So I could be talking about, there's earth signs here as Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. There could be fire signs as in Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Air signs is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So there could be lots of these elements that I'm talking about, but you have to remember to stay positive as much as you can. And if you're not lying and you're not telling the truth, it means that there's something negative, there's something wrong with you, and you have to pay attention to that, right? So you have to remember to reflect on how it is, knowing that this is just the way it is. This is just how it is. I'm not being biased, I'm not telling you what to do, but the cards remain as they are, and this is how it is. So I hope that this reading helps you. Give it a like, give it a comment, and I'll see you next time, because this is what it seems to be. Thank you so much. Have a good day. See you next time. Bye for now. Really. Bye.